Assalamu alaikum. We are honored to have the opportunity to present a little bit of information regarding Kamp Khalil Incorporated. Civilized societies never leave their future to chance. Imam Warthi Muhammad. This quote is the impetus for Kamp Khalil. Kamp Khalil is a 501c3 organization that was founded in 2003 by my husband, Hanif M., and myself, Baina H. Khalil. We were inspired by the institutions and events that were effective in influencing our individual development. Those opportunities educated us, allowed us to develop our leadership skills, taught us the value of teamwork, and modeled the value of maintaining a connection with our community. Kamp Khalil works to provide these opportunities for the next generation. Our foundation. Kamp Khalil is a product of marriage, parenthood, the Nation of Islam, the leadership of Imam Warthi Muhammad, and the Clara Muhammad schools. So a little bit about ourselves. Hanif and I were born and raised in Muslim families. Both of our parents accepted the teachings of Elijah Muhammad through the Nation of Islam in the late 1900s. And they took on the principles of doing for self, strong uh, identity in our African American contributions to the fabric of this country, and taking on the principles of Al-Islam that were designed to clean up, right? Clean up the African American who had been a product of this society, post-transatlantic slave trade, through up until the early 1900s. And so the Nation of Islam was a stepping stone for our family, for our parents rather, and allowed them to make the choice to make their life what they wanted it to be. And it was through the Nation of Islam that they formed marriages and went on to have children who would know nothing but Al-Islam. In 1975, when Elijah Muhammad transitioned and his son Imam Warthi Muhammad took over leadership, our parents made that transition to Al-Islam. And so by the time that my husband and I were born in 1980, our parents have been practicing Al-Islam, and they raised us in communities and environments where we had a strong sense of who we were, and we had a strong commitment to excellence. So Hanifa and I attended national conventions growing up. And then later on, the uh, the National Young Adult Association was a place and a space where young adults could come together. And oftentimes people formed business partnerships, friendships, and marriages from the NYAA conferences. And it was here that my husband and I met. And we began corresponding. He is a native of Kansas City, and I am a native of Miami, Florida. And it was through these events, these conferences, we met and we corresponded long distance. After 10 months of courting, Hanif and I were married March 18th of 2000. And so we really stress the importance that this organization would not be possible if it were not for the choices that were made long before we were born, and the commitment that our ancestors had to developing, growing in self respect and dignity and education, and more importantly, creating a life that was centered on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that was centered on the oneness of Allah and the importance of serving Him by serving humanity. And so after marriage, Hanif and I both transitioned from our universities that we were attending, and we transitioned and we transferred rather to Florida State University. It was here that we went on to graduate after having our son in April of 2002. We graduated in December of 2002 with Kamal in tow. We did not know, what our life had in store for us, but we knew that we had an obligation to continue for greatness, continue to reinvest in the community that invested so much in us. During our time in Tallahassee, my husband often conducted khutbahs at the age of 19 and 20, right? He is up giving khutbahs at our masjid in Tallahassee, Masjid Al-Nal, and we were beginning our small family. And so these are all important things to note when you're talking about this institution because our success is not something that we did by ourselves. We are literally a product of everyone around us and everyone before us. I attended Claire Muhammad schools during my primary years, and it was here that I learned the principles and the values that have carried me on to this day. Still maintaining relationships and friendships with the educators, role models, and peers that I attended school with. And so Kamp Khalil is a product of marriage, um, a product of parenthood, the Nation of Islam, the leadership of Imam Worthy Muhammad, and we are a product of the Claire Muhammad schools. We know we have a legacy to uphold, and we're striving year after year to make our ancestors proud. Our mission. The mission of Kamp Khalil is to provide holistic Islamic programming designed to empower youth with the knowledge and skills necessary to become global leaders, impacting our social fabric by positively affecting change in the areas of business, education, politics, and culture. The vision of Kamp Khalil is to serve as the preeminent leadership institution for the education of youth and to establish a legacy based on moral excellence for future generations of Muslims here in America and abroad. Our evolution. Here you can see a photo of two of our campers riding on the canoe. This is a staple of our organization, and it demonstrates the value of reconnecting to nature. Our youth are often coming from major cities across the United States, so getting an opportunity to be one with nature really shapes who they go on to become. When we began this organization in 2003, it wasn't an organization. We were just simply planning an event. And we asked the community, after presenting our ideas, to support us. And so in our first year, we registered 27 youth, mostly from Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, the southeastern region. And these were people who pretty much had known about us through growing up with us, the family members. So it started off as a very small effort. In our largest year in 2017, we served over 80 youth. This was between our Florida session, our Texas session, and conferences and conventions where we provided programming for our youth. Since 2004, when we held our first summer session in Florida, we have served over 940 youth. Um, Once again, this is during our retreats. This does not include all of the conferences and conventions that we have been responsible for since 2004. 57% of our attendees are male, and this is important to note because leadership is the backbone of our community. And so we love that there is a nice balance um, of male and females that are attending our camp and getting the skills that they need to go on to run their families, run their individual lives, their families, their communities, and the various organizations and businesses that they will become a part of and that they will start. Over 70% of our youth are returning, and that recidivism is important because it really lets us know the quality of the work. At the end of each of our sessions, our youth complete evaluation forms, and they let us know what they like, what they want to see more of, and what didn't work for them, and what they would like to see change. And we make every effort to listen to those voices and create a product each year that is specifically tailored to the youth that are attending. We know technology has had a huge impact on our young people. And since 2004, so much has changed. I mean, our family has gone from having one child to having two, and society has changed with the, advent of smartphones and the internet and social media platforms. For our youth to continue to come to an environment where they don't get to keep their cell phones, they're reconnecting with nature, and they're still finding love and joy and passion in our programming. That is what it's all about, is that we continue to serve our community and serve our youth in the best way. Our funding has grown over the years. Once again, when we started in 2003, just family and friends, we had less than $1,000. And it was just an event. We were not an official incorporated business. We weren't 501(c)(3). We just had a vision and got to work. Mind you, we were 23 years old. And I often, when talking to the youth, they have so many visions of what they want to do, but they often see it as something that they'll do when they get older. And I always encourage them to just start now where they are with what they have. And if they're doing it for the pleasure and sake of Allah, and they're staying connected with a family and a community base that will support them, they'll look up and they'll be in their 40s, and they will have made an impact greater than they could have imagined. In 2021, we raised over $40,000. And since that time, we have secured over 35 individuals and businesses that contribute on a monthly basis, and over 16 individuals and businesses that contribute on an annual basis. These are individuals who have a recurring investment in our organization that comes out of their account, and it allows us to begin planning for the future because we know that we can depend on that financial support. We can implement new programming that we know will be funded by our community. So these recurring contributions to our organization total over $8,000 per year, and this is outside of any corporate sponsorships that we receive. And individuals who just give one-time contributions each year. So as I mentioned, the contributions that we receive from our investors allows us to plan for expansion. We have so many goals, and some of the ones that I'm going to share with you all today, we have actually began working towards. So here you see a photo of one of our male teams, and this was during our 2023 session. This was our 20th annual session, and those faces say it all. Those smiles say it all. All right. So these are some of our goals for expansion. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. So it is important for our organization that we're continuing to set goals, and we're continuing to work with our community to reach those goals. We have not done any of this alone. Oftentimes people will say, "Oh, how's your organization?" And I will quickly correct them and say, "Our organization," because this literally belongs to the community. And we are just the vicegerent, right, over the organization. And we just ensure that we serve our community that we belong to. Some of our goals for expansion are in regards to our sessions. We are looking to offer our sessions in the northeastern region of the United States, the Midwest, and the West Coast. We currently offer our programming in Florida and Texas. Human capital. Our goal is to grow our staff from 13 to over 30. We're looking to hire a full-time grant writer and marketing chair, and we have, inshallah, secured a grant writer for our organization, and we are beginning the process of applying for our first grant. Once again, our organization has been held up by us over the last 22 years. And we have created a track record that we have now been able to have an impact and a reach on other organizations. And I'll talk more about that a little later. And we have received opportunities for funding. Services. We are looking to offer over $25,000 in college scholarships. Um, and we also would like to provide resources to more families. We know that outside of our summer sessions, our youth are going back oftentimes to families or cities or communities that are in need of resources so that they can continue to take the work that we invest in them during those 5 days and they can continue it outside of their time at our Kamp Khalil retreat. And so we want to invest in our families outside of our retreats. And then we want to provide internship opportunities, opportunities for our young campers to come back and serve our organization in ways that will take us to the next level. And then lastly, our programming. We would love to offer summer programming, potentially after school programming. And then we are currently working to create a national initiative um, to support youth groups in African American Muslim communities. And then we would also like to expand by having a mentorship program. This will allow our team leaders to continue and maintain contact with our youth outside of our retreats in an organized program and provide mentorship, helping them with school, helping them with resume writing, college applications, helping them deal with conflict resolution, time management, and so much more. All right. Every investment that you make in Kamp Khalil is like a piece of the puzzle. As you can see here in the picture, we have two of our campers. They're putting a puzzle piece together, and they're smiling. And they recognize that each of them has something to contribute. And each of those small pieces together will form a larger, complete image and product that they could not have done on their own. Each of those pieces could not have made that final product on their own. They have to come together. And that's where our community comes together. Interdependence is a choice that only independent people can make. Our investors are major corporations and businesses and individuals that give between $3,000 to $10,000 once again have allowed us to sustain over the years. Some of our annual investors that have given consistently to our organization include Shaheed Enterprises, the NAML with Michael Rashid out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, El Quran and Mercy Community Center in Houston, Texas, and our corporate sponsor, Imam Alvin and Nadia Sharif out of New Medina, Mississippi. We are so grateful for our investors, and not only have they given financially to our organization, but they have been instrumental in the marketing of our organization, sending us various individuals who will help with the expansion and growth of our organization, and we are eternally grateful. All right. For us, by us. Um, Oftentimes, when people give to Camp Khalil, they think that they're only supporting our organization, and they're only supporting the retreats that they see us promoting and people registering their youth for. But when you're investing in Camp Khalil, you're actually reinvesting in our larger community. All of the resources and um, services that we require for our organization, we seek Muslim owned and African American owned businesses to provide our needs. Once again, this ties back to our history with our parents being members of the Nation of Islam, and with us, my husband and I, having a strong foundation with the leadership of Imam Warthi Muhammad and the Claire Muhammad schools. We stress the importance of taking our dollar and recirculating it back into our community. And so when you all are investing in Camp Khalil, you are reinvesting in t-shirt businesses, paraphernalia, and marketing materials, our banner and our signage, um, our insurance company, our marketing, transportation, all of the major needs that are provided by our organization that are needed by our organization are provided by other Muslim and Black owned organizations. And we are thankful for this web of support. We encourage each of you all, based on what you have heard today, what you have seen, to become an investor. Once again, when we have those small contributions or large contributions coming to our organization on a consistent monthly or annual basis, it allows us to prepare for programming greater than what we currently have because we know that we'll have the funding that we need to support it. So there are many ways that you can give to our organization. If you choose to become an individual supporter, you can give $25 a month, which will add up to $300 for the year, and this will sponsor one child. We're looking for at least 500 individuals to sponsor a child by contributing on a monthly basis at $25 or annual basis at $300. We're also seeking 250 professionals who are willing to give $50 a month or a lump of 600 pull annual recurring to our organization. And once again, this will ensure that our registration fee remains low for parents. So currently our registration fee is $300. And the reason that we're able to keep that fee so low is because of the investors that we mentioned earlier and individuals, professionals, and businesses like yourself who match that registration fee. So, of course, we know it costs more than $300 for someone to send their child to a retreat or a camp for 5 days. And so the sponsorship that you all provide, we match it with a registered camper. And this allows that one registration fee once again to remain low, and our community kicks in the rest. We're also looking for 250 corporations or individuals who want to serve as a corporate sponsor to sponsor $1,200 per year. So that looks like $100 a month to our organization. And by doing so, once again, you're ensuring that we keep our costs low to parents, but also that we continue to be supported by ourselves and we keep our um, integrity as an organization. Your network determines your net worth. So for our marketing platforms, we have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We even have a Twitter, and I want to say we have a TikTok. We are Camp Khalil on all of those platforms. That's KAMP KHALIL. Follow us on all of these on these social media networks, and it allows you all to get pictures and videos and see the growth of our organization. It also allows you to hear from our youth who have attended. We also have video on there from our scholarship recipients, those who receive our legacy scholarship. This scholarship was created after my mom transitioned in 2018. She was a huge proponent for education and HBCU grad, Spelman, class of 1969. And so we created this scholarship to provide funding to our youth that have attended Camp Khalil that want to go on and seek higher education. So on our marketing website, on our various social media platforms and YouTube, you all can see more pictures, video, and hear from our youth. You can go fast alone, but farther together. We are so honored and grateful for the opportunity to do this work. Inshallah, we're going to watch a short video. And this is a promotion marketing video that was made by Sister Malika. It is our promotional video, and it gives you a little bit more information about our organization. So let's watch that.
Since 2004, Camp Khalil has established itself as a leadership and youth development institution. What began as a 4-day summer camp has evolved into an organization that serves the needs of America's youth year round. We have served hundreds of youth ages 12 to 17 from over 40 states during our Florida and Texas sessions, as well as at various local, state, and national community events and conferences. Our success can be directly attributed to our faith and belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the life example of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We approach our work with a spirit of service and sacrifice. We are passionate about youth development. Our time, resources, and knowledge are completely invested in our youth. We want to leave this earth knowing that we did our part to provide a positive example of preparing our future generations for leadership. What makes Camp Khalil unique is that we develop our youth from a holistic approach. All of our sessions are content rich, yet activity based. Participants learn through diagram models, guided practice, group discussion, public speaking, team building, and self-directed presentations. Camp Khalil not only develops the mind and body, we develop the spirit. As a faith-based organization, we seamlessly thread spiritual consciousness into all of our programming. We emphasize moral responsibility, the oneness of the Creator, and the oneness of humanity. As citizens of this planet, youth are empowered to be moral leaders and servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We teach and model the belief that we are all servants of the Creator and are responsible for positively contributing to society. Register, volunteer, and become a sponsor at campkhalil.org. Follow Camp Khalil on all social media platforms.
Alhamdulillah. So we are once again honored to give you all a little bit of information about our organization. And inshallah, we have provided enough insight for you all to become an investor, become a volunteer, and spread the word. Let others know about the work that we are doing. And inshallah, we will grow more and more each day and continue to have that impact on our community. Once again, we thank you all for your support. Assalamu alaikum.